was hard for me, not just because Tupac and Biggie was gone, but that my brother lost his life, and then all these other guys lost their life. So it was a struggle for me to sit back and not say nothing and just watch.
And he can speak about this in a very authentic way. I can talk about it in a clinical way.
Yeah.
But emotionally, I can't appreciate, or I can try to, but I can't really understand. And that's why this is such, I think, a great balance of perspectives. The back of his shirt is a memorial to very important people in his life that paid the ultimate price of being involved in all of this nonsense, really.
Wow. Can we have a look at I think we had a little bit before, but Mom, can you just show us the back of your shirt so you can talk a little bit about this? Wow. Look at that.
Well, I fixed it up a little bit because the shirt they got on, that was my concept. I just wanted to get a shirt out there and then let people actually see. Because, everybody, when did Buntry die? When did Chen die? When did... I made a shirt so you can actually read it and see when everybody passed away. And, I said, let me make something to give back to them. Because my brother got grandkids he never seen. Never seen. And, they call uncle when they need something. So let me, with this shirt, I'll be able to cut them a check and give them something. With Davy's grandbaby, I can say, here goes a check. Not for your son, but this is your grandbaby. He got 2 grandkids. So it's not about me. It's about all these guys that passed away, that don't have a voice, and nobody's giving them nothing. But I can do that. So with him giving me the opportunity to speak, let me take care of him, and him, which I got a lot of them that's gone. I got to stop looking at this picture of my brother up here on his TV, but it's just important to me to let people see. I do care, and it's not just about my brother, my struggle with my brother, but all of these guys meant something to me. We have some of them that was from different neighborhoods, but all of these guys came to my house. I done fought with a lot of these guys, against other people. I woke up at 2, 3 in the morning to go help this cat, you know what I'm saying, when he was in trouble. So they all mean something to me. So that's why I made the shirt.
Oh, that's amazing. And everyone can grab that shirt down at the show on Friday, which is so exciting. And I think a lot of people can relate to that whole family aspect of that, because people go through different hardships or just life in general. Like, family's always who you can count on. And if even after unfortunate events, it's great that you still have that family unit, and especially with being in such a tight-knit community that you grew up in as well.
Well, a lot of people swept it under the rug, and I'm looking at it like this. You got 12, 13 cats that got killed. Every last one of them had mothers. I seen what it did to my mother when Alton was killed. And you got uncles, cousins, you got all these big funerals and all of this. These people are still grieving right now today and still asking, why you kill my son? Unfortunately, my mother just passed in December, and she really don't understand, or didn't understand, why Alton was killed, and he was just doing his job, being a security officer. And it's hard to try to explain that to her, but I can explain it to everybody else. So
I think a lot of people don't maybe know, unless you've paid attention to the story, that he was at 662 that night when Tupac was shot and killed. But his brother was right there on the street with Tupac, and was the only one. His brother was the only one who understood what was happening and tried to take some type of protective or corrective action, and got himself involved in some gunfire. And so they don't realize that his brother was up front on those front lines of that night. And and he was at the club when he got the call that all this shit was going down.
Yeah, it's just a lot of anger. it just brings tears to me. Just thinking of the things that I should have did. Back then, my whole thing was pick up my pistol, get my guns, and retaliate. Yeah. But this is helping me more than that would have done, and I'm in a better place because of this, Yeah. And just talking about it is my medicine, just talking about it. And I just hope people understand where we were at that time in our life. A bunch of gangbangers that didn't have nothing, and to get a paycheck and really put your heart into something because you was taking care of your kids and doing all this, also yourself, without doing crimes. And we lose our life behind it, and that's the killer part about it. So I just hope people understand my story, understand where he's trying to get people to see. Some people don't want to understand, but we got more people understanding what's really going on than we did 7 months ago, 6 months ago. Yeah. So that's good for me, that they're listening and understanding where we was at in that point, at that time.
Yeah.
So.
And I really appreciate, just laying your emotions down on the line, so people can really see how authentic and real, this whole situation has really affected you. And it must have been great, having someone who was unbiased like Greg, who came along, who didn't have their favorites of Biggie or Tupac or the whole situation. He came in just being genuine, saying that, these people are people and they're victims of the whole situation. And that would have been so, a breath of fresh air, so that you felt confident and comfortable enough to really kind of open up. Yeah.
Yeah, he helped me a lot. Yeah. He helped me a lot, and I tell him this. He did something for me that I don't think nobody else could have did. I went through so much at that time, and the anger that I had built up in me until the time that I had this interview with him, I tell him all the time, thank you. Yeah. It worked for me. It worked for my kids. I was just being an asshole with everything and everybody at the time, and being victimized behind these cats out here, thinking they know what gangbanging is about. They have no clue. They just getting a gun and shooting at people from afar. Yeah. That wasn't our thing back in the days. It was more personal for us back then than it is today. And you got everybody and anybody just trying to be a part of a gang. It's not where it works. But they out there doing it. So they have no respect. No respect. So get rid of them, be all right. So our thing, like I have Gangster Chronicles, we talk about trying to get to the younger kids, and then you can stop another generation from growing, whether you're a Crip or a Blood. Yeah. So that's my whole purpose. If I can get to them, I know I can tell them it's not worth it. You don't want to live my type of life because you goes nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And thank God that he changed me, because, I already knew my life was either the penitentiary or death. So you got to figure out which way you want to grow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If this is the life you want to keep, then this is what you're going to get. But other than that, you got to understand. And they don't have no understanding. They don't have that. So.
Wow. Point of view. I think the show in itself is really gonna reach out to different people who are involved
and bring closure as well.
Bring closure. I think I love that it's like a celebration as well. We have been talking on some really touchy topics, and I really appreciate you guys getting deep into this. But at the same time, it is a great celebration of these two individuals, their impact on the music industry, their lives, and celebrating them as individuals as well. Because it would have been great to have that. What kind of relationship did you really have with Tupac?
Well, man, Tupac, he came, when he got out of jail, he came to Death Row, and, he went straight to work. But speaking with him, here and there, Tupac had two sides to him. he had this, man, he was good with his music and everything else.
Yeah.
That identity that he wanted for this belonging somewhere, wanted to be a gangbanger, especially from my neighborhood. I didn't like that. You know, I didn't see him just coming from where he came from to be a part of what I was. I worked too hard to be what I was and where I was from. And it's rules to my game.
Yeah.
The way I was back then. You don't just come. I don't care if you got money. I don't care if you're a star. You're not coming in here and be a part of what I represented. So we had a conflict with that, even with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they had that relationship where it didn't matter to them. Just the homie. No, it's certain things to it before you even jump into that part of the game.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest clash I had with him. But other than that, he was a cool cat. I mean, if you knew Tupac, good person. Good person.
Yeah.
But outside of that, when he walked out the door and he walked with those guys, he's totally different. He was a totally different person. And that person, I didn't like that and didn't understand that. He didn't have to be that.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have to be that. He was a good guy. He was cool.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do half of the things that he did with.
And there should have been more people keeping him from being that.
Well, you know, I blame everybody that was security guards. You know, my whole neighborhood, I blame my whole neighborhood for, you know, his passing because, you know, you're an artist. So you got to understand, you're an artist. You're not one of the homies. So you do what you have to do for your record company.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Our job is to protect you from any and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your purpose is not to go jump on gangbangers. That's not what you're here for.
Yeah.
And you know, I blame my brother and everybody else for letting him go over there and fight someone he don't know. And not knowing the reputation that this guy had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that cost him his life for that.
Yeah.
And you know, that Suge and them fought for allowing him. It should have been on the mob. Get that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should have been Tupac running over there doing what he's doing. So it's rough. It's rough, but you know.
It is rough. Oh man, I'm so looking forward to hearing the whole story about your relationship that you have with Deathrow Records and and then also the unsolving.
Yeah, so we're going to bring up that, but you know, the music is going to be great. I think that this set that DJ Malachi has put together is just going to be really uplifting, celebratory.
Yeah.
It's going to get you in that mood of you know, jubilance, and
I can't wait to meet
it's going to
him.
be good, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him. He had me in the bathroom, sending him back and forth. What's that? Hyping?
Voice messages.
Yeah, voice messages.
Shout out, Malachi.
And I got so mad at one. I just told him I can't do this fucking shit. And you know, it's just not me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not me. And you know, I just had to hit him back and just I couldn't do this. You want me to say? First, I couldn't say Brisbane. I was Briskin and Braskin. And I was like, wait a minute. So I had to keep playing what he said, the recording back and forth. So, Brisbane. Just to put it right here, to understand it, to say it. And my wife came in and said, why don't you stop playing with shit and just get it over with and come out the bathroom? And I did it, and he called me back and said, because he told me to be somewhere where I'm by myself.
Shout out to DJ Malachi.
Yeah, and I did it after she said something. Yeah, because I couldn't do it because I'm raising my grandson. And he was just all over the place.
Yeah.
He was all over the place, and I was telling him to be quiet. And all you hear is papa, papa, papa. And I had to go in the bathroom. So that's how it turned out. I finally did it, and he said, that's great. So I was like, threw my phone down and walked away from it. But it's all been good. It's all been good, man. And I appreciate y'all so much.